So today we're here to talk about literacies in language education with the authors. We have here Kate Paesani. She's the director for the Center for Advanced Research on Language Acquisition and a professor in the Department of French and Italian at the University of Minnesota. And Mandy Menke, who is a professor in the Department of Spanish and Portuguese Studies at the University of Minnesota. So to get started, first, what is unique about literacies in language education?
So multi-literacies pedagogy and focusing on foreign language literacies has been really important to Kate and I for a number of years now. We really see it as transforming language education. And one of the things that we've been doing is working with a lot of teachers on helping them implement this pedagogy. And we've learned a lot about how they learn about the teaching. And one of the things that we've noticed is that they struggle, or one of the challenges is that they struggle to see how literacies is similar to and different from what they've been doing before. And some of the terminology within the pedagogy can be really complex. So we have really tried with this book to make it for practitioners, for the classroom teacher, with language that they can connect with examples that they can incorporate, and things that they can immediately apply to their teaching.
Cool. So that's something that hasn't existed before.
I think we tried to take it up a notch,
right.
So to put it that way. There are other resources out there. The other thing is I think they've been for very specific audiences, and we have tried to broaden our audience a bit more so that we make sure that secondary teachers are included. And it's, like I said, it's really for the classroom teacher.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that's unique is that we've worked with teachers for a long time, and so many of the resources that we include in the book have information that we learn from instructors. So they helped create some of the activities, or we piloted them with real teachers who are sort of on the ground doing the work of implementing multiliteracies pedagogy, and that I think is something that makes the contribution different from what's already out there.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about the development of this book?
Yeah, so Mandy mentioned that we've been working a lot with teachers, so we've been doing research with teachers to sort of understand how they understand and implement multiliteracies pedagogy. So we learned a lot about where they have areas of difficulty, where they have areas of strength, and so we've used that understanding to sort of inform the chapters of the book. And then the other thing is that we teach an annual summer institute at CARLA, the Center for Advanced Research on Language Acquisition, on foreign language literacies development. And so over the years, we've adapted and improved that summer institute, and much of the content from that summer institute informed the chapters of the book. Yeah.
That's great. So what do you hope that instructors will get out of this book?
I think one of our big hopes is that they will see this as feasible, as something that they can do and not feel intimidated, and see how they can make small changes that can have a big impact on their teaching.
I think we also want teachers to see, and I think this is a trend across language instruction in the United States in the 21st century, that there's so much more to what we do than teach students how to be proficient users of the language, meaning they're good at grammar or they know lots of vocabulary, but rather they can use that grammatical knowledge, that linguistic knowledge to talk about things that are important in the world, to really understand target language cultures and the individuals who live within those cultures. And multiliteracies pedagogy, because it prioritizes working with authentic materials, sort of provides a gateway to doing that.
Right. And then finally, are there any kind of supplemental materials that come with this book?
Yeah, so as we've mentioned more than once, this is a project that grew out of work at CARLA, and so part of that project has been developing materials to support teachers' understanding and implementation of multiliteracies pedagogy. So many of those resources have been incorporated into the book, and we've created a companion website that will be housed on the CARLA website. It'll have all the materials will be available for free, and teachers can go and download lesson plans and planning templates and other resources that are going to help them learn how to implement multiliteracies pedagogy.
And there's a lot of additional resources on there, links to other websites that can support their teaching. And one of the things that we're excited about on that website is there's going to be like a repository of activity types, so that like when you're stuck and you're trying to think about like, what can I do to target this skill or to develop this, knowledge process, which is something that we talk about in the book, you can go and see examples of other activities that have done that to stimulate your thinking and creativity about how you could do it in your own classroom.
Sounds great. Is there any other information that you'd like to share about the book?
We're really excited to see it coming out, and I think I would just like to thank all the teachers that have worked with us too, because we've learned so much from working with them. We work in one context, but there are so many contexts, and each one is unique, and to thinking about the unique challenges of the different languages that we're teaching, the different contexts that we're teaching in, it's really exciting to see us all come together to put something forward.
I would also add to that Mandy and I are both experienced language program directors, so Mandy continues to oversee a lower level Spanish program. I used to oversee a lower level French program. We've worked a lot with graduate teaching assistants and with lecturers and part-time faculty, and so there are segments of the book that focus on how you can do teacher professional development grounded in multiliteracies for folks who are doing teacher supervision and teacher development. And so I think that's a feature of the book that sort of broadens the audience, not just to practitioners who are in the classroom, but those folks who are doing mentoring of teachers as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much. Literacies in Language Education comes out in April 2023.